graduating with an emphasis in cell and developmental biology and has made the most of her time at UC Berkeley. In addition to her academics, Rachel has worked on 2 separate research projects, one involving a clinical trial on sleep insomnia and the other looking at how stress influences the development of new adult brain cells, both very relevant topics for MCB students. And Rachel shares her remaining free time with friends, the Phi Delta Epsilon Medical Fraternity, as well as a student designer for Fashion and Student Trends, a campus organization that combines philanthropy and a hands-on experience for students interested in the fashion industry. Rachel is applying to medical school this June and plans to continue her work in the Coffer Lab, as well as gain additional clinical experience during her gap year. Please welcome Rachel Davis.
Good morning and welcome, graduates, parents, faculty, and friends. I'd like to begin by telling you all a story. Once upon a time, traveling down the Ganges River in the depths of India were a molecular biologist and a boatman. As they floated slowly on the water, they tried to make conversation. "Boatman, what do you know about the cell cycle?" asked the biologist. "Oh, I don't know anything about that," the boatman replied. "You have no idea how cells propagate, facilitating and sustaining life? So much of your life has been wasted." The biologist continued, "Tell me then, what do you know about genetics and heredity? Surely you must know something about that." "I know nothing about that," said the boatman. "The very life you live is dependent on your genes and the specific alleles you've inherited, yet you know nothing of how this process works? You've wasted so much of your life," the biologist declared. "Surely you must know something about anatomy and the analogous structures in animals, humans, rats, worms, cockroaches, crayfish." The boatman replied once more, "I'm sorry, but I know nothing about that either." "Look at how much of your life has been wasted. You don't know anything," declared the biologist. With that, both the biologist and the boatman looked to the sky to see an ominous gray rain cloud approaching. "Tell me," said the boatman, "what do you know about swimming?" "I've never learned to swim. I never had the time," replied the biologist. The boatman straightened his back and said, "I regret to say this, but it seems that all of your life has been wasted." We are all about to become molecular biologists. However, what we learn from this story is that it isn't enough to be just a molecular biologist. It's also important to know how to swim. Luckily at Berkeley, we've all grown into hybrids, molecular biologists and boatmen. We've learned the cell cycle, Punnett squares, pipetting, and PCR. But we've also learned to live, to memorize huge amounts of material in next to no time, to ask for help from our peers and teachers, to cooperate with teams of lab personnel and classmates, and to manage time for both work and fun. These are all lessons learned over the course of our time at Berkeley. We did not all get here by the same route. Some of us came straight out of high school, some of us transferred here from other colleges and universities, while others of us took time off from school after high school. Despite our different pasts, however, we all came with a common purpose. That purpose which has brought us to today, the day of our graduation, the day that we officially become molecular and cell biologists. As a freshman, I came to Berkeley, as most of us did, a small fish moving from a small pond to a vast ocean. But fortunately, I found comfort at Berkeley when I discovered my own niches. I met my best friends through the clubs that I joined and eventually helped to lead. And I found my place at Berkeley in the Department of Molecular and Cell Biology. We all converged into that same place and have traveled through this journey together. We've conquered organic chemistry with its SM1s and SN2s, the Bio 1A lab course and Mike Meehan's fast talking, the upper division courses which both enticed and challenged us. Now, at the time of our graduation, I can reflect and fondly say that we, the graduates of May 2011, have made it through Cal with the help of molecular and cell biology. Through this experience, I'm sure that we can all agree that the road leading here has not been easy. I know I've struggled to balance my academics, my social life, and my other extracurricular activities. I was fortunate, though, that along the way, I found support all around. I want to thank my teachers who taught and challenged me, my peers who taught me when my teachers could not, my friends for bearing with my bouts of stress and anxiety, and my family for encouraging me and giving me the tools that I need to get to where I want to go. We are all fortunate to have had these networks of support. It's these relationships which make us more than just molecular and cell biologists. These relationships have given us the knowledge to live lives outside of classrooms and the lab, and to succeed in all of our endeavors. It is with this knowledge that we prepare to leave Berkeley. It is with this knowledge that we prepare ourselves to swim. Congratulations, class of 2011, and go Bears!
Thank you, Rachel. The Bachelor of Arts degrees will now be conferred. We will accomplish this in 5 parts to distinguish the different emphases within the MCB major. The 90 students on stage will receive MCB departmental honors. The program requires a thesis and presentation of their research projects while maintaining a minimum grade point average of 3.5 in the major. But first, for the family and friends in the audience, let's make sure you're ready to cheer on the graduates. First, let's hear from everyone who traveled here from outside of California. Now let's hear from everyone from Southern California. Now let's hear from everyone from Northern California. Now let's hear from everyone who thinks today's graduates deserve their degrees. Okay, I think we're now ready. Will Professor Curry please take your position at the microphone to read the names, and Professor Nogales, please come forward to present scrolls to students receiving the Bachelor of Arts degree in MCB with an emphasis in biochemistry and molecular biology. Will the biochemistry and molecular biology seniors please come forward?
Patricia Deng. Gloria Yu-Yi Wu. John Campo. Corinne Jensen. Brian Alford.